Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Torya.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy.
Do you ever wonder if we're at that point in time where maybe a giant boulder is going to come in from outer space and just obliterate the entire planet?
I think so. I really do think so.
Don't things go extinct when they've either outgrown their usefulness or something else is more superior to it, or like it's kind of like a balancing mechanism, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. And it kind of seems to be like whatever race of the thing that's about to be extinct is, they hit like a high point of intelligence and then it's all downhill from there. And when it starts to go downhill, that's when extinction time is.
Well, I think you nailed why I think we're going to be extinct soon. As human beings. I think you nailed it.
Because we hit our high point of intelligence and it's all going downhill now?
Well, there's an interesting thing that I've noticed since the presidential election. There is definitely an extremely high prevalence of far right-wing people, and an extreme presence of far left-wing people.
And they're equally as alarming.
But why? Where did they come from?
I think they were just quiet before. And the election presence of a extreme far left and an extreme far right person.
Well, let's talk a minute about Bernie Sanders. How does a whole cadre like that become the movement of a group of people that are known as progressives?
That's who progressives are? Those are Bernie Sanders supporters?
Yes. I mean, all this time we've been talking about this and you did not grasp who they were?
Not entirely.
Good, you need to tell me, with everybody listening, what you thought they were.
I thought they were just the crazy left people who devoutly support anybody who's on the left side with their whole entire being and don't listen to...
No, this is a whole ideology. It's not just a group of people and a name for them. This is a whole ideology where they espouse extremely liberal ideas, and they want to socialize everything. Everything should have a social aspect to it. Healthcare should be free. We should have a universal basic income. Everyone should just be given money.
Okay. So this woman who lives in a $10 million house in Newport Beach is one of the people who wants free college, free healthcare, and free everything for everyone?
Oh, you mean the lady who said... You mean the lady who told me that I was an elitist class snob? Me.
I'm flabbergasted.
I live in an apartment in Buena Park. No offense, Buena Park. Beautiful place. But let's face it, I'm on Lincoln. I'm not in the best part of Buena Park. I'm certainly not in the worst part of Buena Park. This is the best part of Buena Park. This is 4-star Buena Park, not 5-star Buena Park. Okay?
I'm speechless.
And this woman who lives in a $10 million home, maybe even more than that, in Newport Beach, is calling me an elitist class snob.
I don't have words to describe how concerned I am for anybody she speaks to.
I'm willing to bet you that her mortgage is 10 times what our rent is. I'm willing to bet you that in addition to paying the mortgages 10 times what our rent is, she probably pays 5 times what our rent is for household staff.
I understand.
But I'm an elitist class snob. Okay. So where do you go with that? Like, what is wrong with people that are like that? Like the guy I heard about today, who I know is the guy that we saw at Los Alamitos, but I'm 100% certain. And be prepared. When we do what we want to do, he'll show up at that too. You watch.
Which guy?
The Make America Great Again hat.
Oh,
A little shorter, a little thinner.
You talked to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I told you
told me about it.
that
Okay, that's
I read an article that says he's the leader of the resistance against the resistance. Because the stupid California Democrats, yes, I said the stupid ones, say, oh, we're the resistance, the Trump resistance. Yeah, like Gavin Newsom. Choke, gasp, want to throw up.
Let's clarify for a second. You're not calling Democrats stupid.
No, I'm
specifically calling out the stupid Democrats.
Stupid Democrats, the ones who are stupid. Gavin Newsom. Dumb. Redonkulous. And then you got the stupid, crazy people on the right-hand side, too.
You mean like those people at the Los Alamitos City Council meeting?
Yeah.
That think literally anyone who wasn't born here, that's not even true. Literally anyone who wasn't born here for at least 17 generations should just go back where they came from.
Yeah. Exactly. And there's something wrong when you're extreme on anything. Okay, like.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like, I'll go through a list of things I think is crazy. I think political extremism, you're crazy.
Lunacy.
Racial extremism, you're crazy.
Because let's be real. The terroristy people are political extremists or religious extremists.
Oh, and by the way.
Crazy!
By the way, all you crazies who get mad because they won't call white person a terrorist, guess what the Austin package bomber was labeled today?
A terrorist?
Domestic terrorist. Now shut up.
Can you tell me the political motives of what he did, since that's one of the classifications of terrorism?
I have no idea. All I did was see the head.
I'm gonna look it up later.
All I did was see the head.
Not because I'm doubting you, but just because I want to know.
No, I'm just saying, all I did was see the headline that he was declared a domestic terrorist. And the first thing I thought was, man, I hope those 500 people that I see on Facebook all the time whining about how just because it's a Muslim doesn't make him a terrorist, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we get all that. Why wasn't the school shooter declared a terrorist? Because like you said, let's give you guys a little lesson. In order for someone to be a terrorist, the actions that they take have to have political motives. Absent the political motives, they're just a mass murderer.
So if Joe down the street went up and shot up a grocery store because he didn't like the price of peas, he's not a terrorist. But if Joe from down the street went out and shot up a supermarket because all of the people in the supermarket are Trump supporters and he hates Donald Trump,
that's a terrorist. Get it now? Great example.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Joe from down the street.
I'm sorry, supermarket that gets shot up. I'm sorry, people who are in the supermarket that get shot up. Because either way, you guys are dead, whether he's a terrorist or not. And that's kind of what I always say. Who freaking cares?
Yeah, can we focus
people
on
are dead.
Exactly. Can we focus on how sad it is that all of these people died and what a fucking scumbag the person who did the killing is, instead of focusing on the classification of this person as a terrorist or not?
But okay, so political extremist, racial extremist, because there are those people who strive to be like
Hitler,
completely the opposite of what a racist would be. Like they strive to be so politically correct and all of that. We all know about the Hitler types that are crazy racists. Everybody sees those.
Okay, well, that's where I thought you were going.
But the people miss the ones who are like trying to be so politically correct and perfect and upright and all of that, that they, the white people that start celebrating Kwanzaa because they want to show that, they're not at all racist. But see, why that kind of makes me laugh in the end and why they don't realize that it's racist is it's kind of like the guy at the meeting in Los Alamitos that came over and said, I have a black daughter, I have a Hispanic daughter, and I have an Asian son. I am not racist. You know what? That doesn't make you not racist. It makes you a loser who was screwing around with too many women and getting them pregnant. Have you heard of birth control? Have you heard of condoms? Who does that, though? Who probably proclaims that they've got 3 kids from 3 different women, but I'm not a racist because they're different races?
You know what, though? At least the guy doesn't have a type.
But racist, that's the most racist thing you can say is I'm not a racist because I have a black friend. I'm not a racist because I let my daughter marry a black man. What? You're a racist. Stop it. Okay, so there's political extremists, racial extremists. How about religious extremists who like they take it to one extreme or the other?
Well,
I'm talking about even, you know what? I'm going to even throw in there because I don't agree with this either. Is atheists.
I know atheists.
The ones that get so bad that they purposely try to insult Christians.
Atheists are the vegans of the religious world.
And everybody you're right. They want to tell you I'm an atheist. Shut.
Right.
Like, you know what? The Christians may not be 100% right, but I don't think the atheists are 100% right either.
What do they call the people who are somewhat in the middle, who just
agnostic?
Really don't give a shit.
Agnostic. I always remember that because I think of it as acknowledging a higher power. Agnostic.
But having zero worship?
Right.
I see.
Well, and I think more and more of our society is fitting into that category, not because of the no worship, as you put it, but because they're more spiritual than religious these days.
Yeah, I feel like not that we were planning on getting on any kind of topic of religion.
Well, no, but that's the point of these things. They're rants.
But that
we go where it goes.
Religion has become so divisive that some people are just like, nope, I believe that there is a dude up there living that controls the things and that there might be a heaven and there might be a bad place. But no time for this being Catholic or being Christian. You're too divisive. Stay away from me.
Well, right. But then they become more spiritual. Like, you'll talk to people like that, and they'll tell you that they still pray.
Yeah.
They, they go to church on holidays. And, like, I don't know why I struggle with this so much. But, like, I've fallen into that realm where I would say I'm more spiritual than anything else. And I struggle with the fact that, like, Sunday is Easter.
Right.
And it's been a tradition for them, the kids, to go to church on Easter. It's a tradition.
Right.
Sad to say, I have no real idea of what they really believe. I have my suspicions. But, yeah, anyway. So I struggle with that because I really just have to kind of suck it up and do it for them. Then I wonder, are they really wanting to be there?
Are they sucking it up and just going because you are?
Exactly. Because, I'm okay with traditions changing. Right. It's all right with me.
Right.
And like Ashley, I have to give her a lot of credit this year on her birthday of being creative and having lunch with us and dinner with her mom. That's very creative.
Yeah, because then everybody got birthday.
Yeah, it was nice, and that's a different tradition that we could set going forward. But, so, okay, religious extremists, both sides, right? But then, like, there's sexual extremists. There's people who have, and then you know what? There's sexual extremists on the whole wave of not having any sex, being completely abstinent to having sex every second they can find it. That's different than what I'm talking about.
You're talking about the people who have, like the people missionary position on Tuesday evenings,
right?
Versus the people who have like 97-person orgies every different day of the week. Yeah, I gotcha.
And remember people. In order for them to be extremists, it's not their behavior; it's their commentary about what they think about their behavior. about how it's the best way to be and you should give it a try. And your life would be better off if you lived like they did.
Or lack of communication at all about
And that's why, you made another comment, and it brings me to the next one. Food extremists. You got your vegans. You got your paleo people now. And I'm sorry, bodybuilding friends. I'm sorry. But you guys are as bad as the damn vegans. I'm paleo. I'm keto. I'm low carb. I'm high fat. I don't eat. You guys are nuts. Just stop it already. Eat the damn food. Eat the damn food.
And stop blogging about it or telling everybody about it.
Like Dave Pulcinella says, there's 6 foods that work. Eat them. Okay? And he includes some carbs in there. So shut up, buckle down, and eat. Forget about this keto, paleo, and I'm sure it's just like anything else. It's like gluten-free. I guarantee you there are people who have hormonal conditions that are going to benefit from a paleo or a keto diet.
I'm friends with some of them on Facebook.
And I'm sure that exists. I have zero problem with that. But dude, don't preach to me about how I should do it. I don't want to hear it.
Well, exactly. And it's the same thing with people who are vegan. There are people out there who don't eat meat because, well, I guess vegetarian, because I don't really understand the extremity of veganism. But like my grandmother had a red meat allergy.
Yeah, so she's not going to eat red meat.
Right.
Clearly.
She couldn't do it. It was just like Ashley. It made her horrendously ill.
But here's my difference, okay? People are going to wonder why I'm saying this. If I were to see a video, and in the video the guy was a friend of mine or something, and he said, guys, I discovered the paleo diet, and I've been eating that way for 3 weeks now, and I have more energy, my sex drive is up, I'm losing fat, and I know I'm losing fat because my clothes are fitting better, but the scale weight is staying the same. So I'm gaining muscle and losing fat. I'm really loving this lifestyle. That's one approach. Then there's the other approach. Guys, I've been doing keto for 3 weeks now. You really should give it a try because I found that I had more energy, and you're going to find you're going to have more energy too.
It's the difference between telling you about their life experience and preaching at you about what you should do with your life.
Like, okay, I have heard so many people preach at me about the intermittent fasting thing.
You're over it?
That I've just turned them off. But then there's a guy who I know through my computer friend that I don't want to name on here because I'm not sure if he's comfortable with that. You know, my friend that spoke to us about running virtual assistants? Okay, well, he introduced me to a guy who runs a gym over by the John Wayne Airport, the Orange County Airport. Okay. He runs a gym over there. And I noticed that he's been, like, he tried this diet, that diet, the other diet, and all of a sudden I noticed he's been losing weight in his pictures and looking really good. And he mentioned that he's been doing what he calls 2-a-day eating. So I looked it up. I was like, what the hell is 2-a-day eating? It's just intermittent fasting.
Interesting.
But he approached it from, my hormones are more balanced. I'm gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. I feel better than I've ever felt. And never once did he say, you should try it. People commented and he said, I have found something that works for me. He didn't say, I have found something that works and you really need to try it.
Because there's 10,000 options out there. And those 10,000 options work for 10,000 different people.
Right. So there's that. And you made me think of that because of the vegans. Because, again, if you want to be a vegan, be a vegan. Please don't tell me every time I see you that you're a vegan. I really don't care.
And that should bring you to the last extreme I can think of, which are the fitness extremists. The people who are just in really good shape because you know damn well they go to the gym 7 days a week.
For 4 hours.
Or the people who are in meh shape but they have to tell you every time they see you that they're CrossFit and all the amazing CrossFit things they do, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, CrossFitters are like vegans.
Yeah, they're the vegans of the fitness.
Sorry, Melissa, but it is true, and you know it.
Melissa's not one of them.
I've teased you about it before.
I don't think
No, she's quite mellow about her CrossFit, but she's all in on it, which is good. Hey, if you're going to do something, do it all the way.
I don't say it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being vegan or doing CrossFit or any of the other things that we've listed.
Well, maybe I
It's
am.
the extreme crazy people that we're mildly bashing here.
Well, maybe I am.
Are you?
No.
Exactly.
But yes, okay, so to kind of tie this all together, it seems like people who are extremists are like massive troublemakers.
Yeah, I agree.
Because for some reason, okay, like I don't know why, but if you take somebody who's in the middle of any of those spectrums and you talk to them about the topic that they're in the middle of the spectrum on, they're more open to listen and they're more open to ideas. They're not going to be the type who, because they're in the middle, remember, they're not going to be the type who just easily gets swayed. They're going to take time to think about it, consider their options. I guarantee you, if you look in their search history on Google, they're going to be Googling the issue. Then they're going to come back to you with, okay, this is what I've decided. Or they might even just not come back to you. They might just go do what it is they were going to do. And then the next time you see them, you figure out, oh, they took what I said to heart.
So are you trying to say that extremists are closed-minded?
Much more close-minded. Their ideas are correct. End of story. I mean, do you remember the discussion that I had about the labor dispute? And the first comment out of her mouth was, you don't come to the discussion with any solutions at all because my side has all the facts in its favor. Who does that? That's like the guy that told me when I coached roller hockey and we were going to go into the playoffs that we might as well give his team the trophy because they hadn't lost a game all season. Well, yeah, that was until they played my team in the championship. Then they lost a game. The game. So, like, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of people that, like, their mind is just made up. And there's no room for considering other options about anything. And guys, this isn't just about the people who have crazy political views or the people who have extreme sexual views or any of that. It's about all of the areas we talked about.
Right.
And how there can be extremists in each of those areas. And that's really what it comes down to is, you know, I'm not trying to say that they're bad people. I'm just trying to say that because they tend to shout over other people who have an opposite viewpoint. They tend not to pay attention to the opposite viewpoint. They sort of just dismiss it. The saying is preaching to the choir.
Right.
Well, that's the problem. They only allow the choir in the room. They don't allow anyone else. It's like the crazy dog park lady that, you know, was blocking everybody. She used to be in favor of Measure GG, and I figured something out just now. She was in favor of Measure GG, and the reason she was blocking people was because she was embarrassed to admit that she had changed her stance over a parking lot that belongs to a private organization.
Right. I can't even.
And proof of this is, she says, well, Dr. Allred, he doesn't even support this measure. And our friend Nelson posts an article from the OC Register where Dr. Allred is quoted as saying he helped draft the text of the measure. I would say he supports it. So she blocked him immediately. Why? Because she only wants to talk to people who believe the same exact way she believes.
That's because she's a special kind of lunatic.
But they're all like that.
I agree.
We went to that Los Alamitos meeting, and like one side would start talking, and then the other side, and then vice versa.
I know. I can't even. I cannot handle extreme people who are like, no, it's only this way. This is the only right way to exist. I can't handle them. I don't like them at all.
There you go.
Because I don't feel like they can have a conversation without word vomiting it.
And that, honestly, that is my ultimate objection to the whole entire scenario, is that can't have a dialogue with something like that. Like crazy Newport Beach lady today, you know, I can't have a dialogue with her because, first of all, right off the bat, she sees that I'm a libertarian. And so she doesn't address me directly, but she talks about how, well, here's libertarians. This is what they think. They think you should just sink or swim. What?
Aren't libertarians socially liberal and
fiscally conservative?
But I will say, I am open-minded enough that if you're an extreme person and you feel like you can have an interesting conversation with me, I would love to hear from you. Please send us an email. I won't even send you my special gift. I don't remember it. You have to tell them the email address.
You better learn this. Info at victoriacan'trememberanything.com. No, that's the wrong address. That'll bounce, guarantee you. It's info at yogispodcastnetwork.com. How the hell do you not know that?
Well, I was hoping you'd spell it for us again.
So don't forget, info at victoriacan'trememberanything.com. and when that bounces back, send the email to info at yogispodcastnetwork.com. Anything else to add there?
No.
Woman?
That's it for me. Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike, and I truly hope you enjoyed this show. You're able to subscribe to this show on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher so as to never miss an episode. If, by chance, you did miss an episode here or there, you can catch up on all shows, past and present, by heading over to yogispodcastnetwork.com/TNR show. Thanks for listening.